Good day, ma'am. I am Jeneriel Cagas from BS HM3B, and for this video, I will be report in chapter 15 entitled Tourism and Hospitality Management Education. And here's the learning objectives. First, differentiate schools abiding with laws from those that are not. Second, identify the requirements in the opening and operation of a tourism or hospitality management program and tourism-related technical vocational programs. And lastly, identify the laws governing various issues in tourism and hospitality education. So next, the Philippines has over 300 plus schools offering tourism and hospitality management programs, regulated by the Commission on Higher Education or CHED and the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority or TISDA. CHED-recognized institutions produce over 40,000 graduates annually, while TISDA-recognized institutions produce 10,000. Next, the BS Tourism and BS Hotel and Restaurant Management Program must comply with CHED Memorandum Order No. 31, Series of 2001 and Republic Act No. 7722. The government encourages higher education institutions to establish a ladderized interface between TVAT and HE, enabling students to earn certifications and secure employment. 8 priority course programs are identified for national implementation. Next, CHED's minimum requirements for faculty, library, laboratory, and administration are required for government recognition in BS Hotel and Restaurant Management or Hospitality Management schools, and these are administrators with at least master's degree and industry managerial experience, 25% of subject taught by teachers with master's degree and industry experience, at least 2,500 volumes of books accessioned in the library for permit and 5,000 for recognition, at least 1,000 square meters in floor area, adequate library space accommodating 15% of enrollment. Next, the foregoing implementing guidelines are applicable to the International Practicum Training Program for HRM or tourism students. A. Qualification of requirements for the agencies parties involved. First, higher education institutions. Only higher education institutions with accredited programs are qualified to participate in the International Practicum Training Program and may deploy their HRM or tourism students for the purpose. Next, training partner. The training partner should be at least a 3-star hotel, resort, club, restaurant duly accredited by the Hotel or Restaurant Association abroad. Third-party training partner or 3TP. The TPTP should be accredited by CHED. The following are the requirements for accreditation. First, registration with the Security and Exchange Commissions. Second, license to conduct requirement and placement services in the Philippines in partnership with a duly licensed Philippine-owned agency in the same. Third, business and maintaining an office in the Philippines for the purpose, dormitory type accommodation to the student trainees abroad. A. Safe, clean, and conducive for rest and study, well lighted, well ventilated, quiet, far from obnoxious places such as warehouses, gambling joints, and factories. So the applicant must be close to the workplace managed by the 3TP and have a Filipino in charge for trainee monitoring. They must have household equipment proof of capability to meet 3TP obligations and comply with other government agencies in the Philippines. Student. Considering the cross-cultural nature of this program, participants should be carefully selected. They should possess the following qualifications. So the applicant must be an HRM or tourism student 18 years old, pass pre-practicum requirements, be recommended by the faculty practicum coordinator and dean, undergo pre-departure orientation, be articulate in English or the host country's language, be physically and mentally fit, and have parental consent. B. Obligations, responsibilities of the agencies. Parties involved. The specific obligation, responsibilities of the parties involved in the implementation of IITP are as follows. Higher education institution. So the higher education institution selects participants based on classification requirements, assigns a faculty practicum coordinator responsible for IPTP implementation evaluation, conducts pre-departure orientations, and submit a list of departing students to CHED, including their training partner, schedule, work permit, and transcript of the records. Training partner. The training plan involves providing on-the-job training to student or trainees, assigning a competent supervisor, and ensuring a certificate of completion before departure. Third-party training partner. The training partner or TPTP, the training program in the Philippines, involves screening students through interviews and providing in-principle approval letters. Upon arrival, students receive benefits like free airfare, medical examinations, and allowances. The school must pay fees for the overseas training certificate and program development fee. The training plan is presented for school examination and approval. Student. To enroll in school practicum units, complete necessary travel documents, adhere to host establishment or training partner rules, avoid accepting part-time jobs, disclose host establishment confidential information, stay in a 3TP dormitory, and complete the agreed practicum training duration. Parent and guardian. Parent or guardian. Parents must co-sign a traineeship contract, attend a pre-departure seminar or an orientation with their son or daughter, and consent to their child's training abroad even if they are over 18. Next, in the collegiate or tertiary level, the main accrediting agencies authorized by the Federation of Accrediting Agencies of the Philippines in the private sector are Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities, Philippines Association of Colleges and Universities Commission on Accreditation, Association of Christian Schools and Colleges Accrediting Agency. Meanwhile, the public sector has the following accrediting agencies authorized by the National Network of Quality Accrediting Agencies: Accrediting Agency of Chartered Colleges and University of the Philippines, Association of Local Colleges and Universities Commissions on Accreditation. Next, for a school to be granted the highest level of accreditation, Level 3, the following must be satisfied, observed, and reported by the accrediting agency: reasonably high standard of instruction, highly visible community extension program, highly visible research tradition, strong faculty development tradition, highly creditable performance of its graduates in licensure board exams, existence of working consortia or linkages with other schools or agencies, and lastly, extensive and functional library and other learning resource facilities. Next, Section 3 of the Anti-Sexual Harassment Act of 1995 or RA number 7877 provides that in an education or training environment, sexual harassment is committed. First, against one who is under the care, custody, or supervision of the offender. Second, against one whose education, training, apprenticeship, or tutorship is entrusted to the offender. Third, when the sexual favor is made a condition to the giving of passing grade or the granting of honors and scholarships or the payment of a stipend, allowance, or other benefits, privileges, or considerations, or lastly, when the sexual advances result in an intimidating, hostile, or offensive environment for the student, trainee, or apprentice. Next, Section 4 of RA 7877 provides that it is the duty of the employer, of head of the school, president or dean, or head of training establishment, president or training director, to deter the commission of acts of sexual harassment and to provide the procedures for the resolution, settlement, or prosecution of acts of sexual harassment. To accomplish this, the employer or head of office shall, the proposed rules and regulation will be jointly approved by students or trainees, outlining the procedure for investigating sexual harassment cases and implementing administrative sanctions. C. A committee will be established to investigate and promote sexual harassment involving various stakeholders to prevent incidents and conduct investigations. Section 5 of this law provides that the head of the school shall be solidarily liable for damages arising from the acts of sexual harassment committed in the school if the head of the school is informed of such acts by the offended party and no immediate action is taken thereon. Next, the guiding principles in the implementation of this policy in schools and management of drug test results are as follows. The government acknowledges parents' responsibility in drug education and emphasizes parental involvement in random drug testing, treatment, and rehabilitation. Schools and local government units must provide drug-free environments, respect student rights, and maintain confidentiality. Next, the purposes of random drug testing are first to determine the prevalence of drug users among the students. Second, to assess the effectivity of school-based and community-based prevention programs. Third, to deter the use of illegal drugs. Fourth, to facilitate the rehabilitation of drug users and dependents. Fifth, to strengthen the collaboration efforts of identified agencies against the use of illegal drugs and in the rehabilitation of drugs users and dependents. Next, students of secondary and tertiary schools shall pursuant to the related rules and regulations as contained in the school student handbook and with notice to the parents undergo a random drug testing. Such internal rule is in accordance with the policy of the state to safeguard the integrity of its territory and the well-being of its citizenry, particularly the youth, from the harmful effects of dangerous drugs on their physical and mental well-being, and to defend the same against acts or omissions detrimental to their development and preservation. Next, there have been a number of CHED memoranda issued in relation to processing foreign students in the Philippines. These are CMO 53, 1997, Amendments to CHED Memorandum Order CMO number 2 series of 1994, the implementing guidelines on the entry and stay of foreign students in the Philippines and the establishment of an interagency committee for the purpose to conform with Executive Order number 423 signed on 25 June 1997, amending Executive Order number 188, and CMO 7, 1996, submission of names of designated licensed officers of higher education institutions with foreign students. Next, CMO 1996, submission of reports on foreign students with expired visas and declaratory records. CMO 15, 1995, general procedure in the processing of entry and stay of foreign students. CMO 2, 1994, rules and regulations to implement EO number 188, guidelines in the entry and stay of foreign students in the Philippines and the establishment of an interagency committee for the purpose. And that's all from my report in Chapter 15. Once again, this is Jeneriel Cagas from BSHM 3B. Thank you and God bless.